Kai had always dreamed of exploring the stars. Earth felt small to him, filled with the same cities, same people, and same routines. When he finally got the chance to join the Star Voyager program, he could hardly believe it. Now, standing on the landing platform of the planet Viridia, he felt the weight of reality mixed with excitement. The planet shimmered under a violet sun, its sky a swirl of soft colors he had never seen. He could see floating cities in the distance, hovering like giant crystal clouds. The air smelled different, sweet, and fresh, carrying tiny sparkling particles that made everything around him glow. Kai's heart raced as he stepped off the shuttle and onto the soft, glowing ground. He had read the reports about Viridia. It was beautiful, mysterious, and home to a civilization far more advanced than Earth. The aliens were said to be elegant and intelligent, with ways of thinking humans could hardly imagine. Kai's first goal was simple: observe, explore, and record. He carried his data pad carefully, scanning the surroundings as he walked toward what seemed to be the main palace. The palace was enormous, made of crystal-like structures that reflected the sun in rainbow patterns. Its towers stretched high into the sky, and golden bridges connected each floating platform. The design was like nothing he had ever seen. Every detail was perfect, yet somehow natural. As he approached the palace gardens, his eyes widened. The garden was alive with colors, shapes, and light. Strange flowers that shimmered like glass swayed without wind. Trees with translucent leaves sparkled as if lit from within. Streams of silver water curved through the garden, and small creatures with wings like rainbow ribbons floated above the plants. It was beautiful, almost magical, and Kai could not stop staring. Then he saw her. The Princess of Viridia stood near a cluster of luminous flowers. Her hair flowed like liquid silver, catching the light in a way that made it shine. Her eyes were violet, deep and curious, as if she could see into Kai's thoughts. She was tall and graceful, moving in a way that made the air itself seem to dance. She wore a robe of soft fabric that shimmered with colors he could not name. Kai froze. He had never seen anyone like her. The princess noticed him immediately. She tilted her head slightly, her expression a mixture of curiosity and surprise. "Why do you stare at me, human?" she asked. Her voice was gentle but carried a tone of authority. It made Kai's stomach twist in a mix of nerves and awe. Kai blinked. He had expected to explore alien technology, study alien creatures, maybe even negotiate with the leaders. But he had never expected to be asked a question by the princess herself. He swallowed hard, trying to think of a proper answer. But before he could overthink, he said what came naturally. "Because you're gorgeous," he replied honestly. The princess's eyes widened in surprise. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she laughed softly, a sound like wind chimes. It was not mocking, it was a real laugh, full of curiosity and delight. "You are different from other humans," she said, stepping closer. "Most would hide behind words, or stare without speaking. You speak what you think. That is unusual." Kai's cheeks burned slightly, but he felt a strange confidence. He nodded, holding her gaze. "I always say what I feel. It helps me understand things better," he explained. "And I feel that you are unlike anyone I have ever seen." The princess studied him, her eyes reflecting a mixture of amusement and intrigue. She tilted her head again, walking slowly among the glowing flowers. "Do you often speak so freely to leaders of worlds you visit?" she asked. Kai shrugged. "I try to. I think honesty is easier than guessing what people want to hear." It might not always be polite, but it is real. Alira, the princess, smiled. There was something in her expression that told Kai she appreciated the honesty. Very well, human. I will allow your presence here for a short time. But you must follow my rules in the palace. The gardens are open, but not all areas are meant for visitors. Kai nodded eagerly. Of course, Princess Alira. I will follow your rules. He could hardly believe he was speaking to the ruler of this amazing world. Yet, somehow, it felt natural. He had expected fear or tension, but there was only a calm curiosity between them. They walked together through the gardens. Kai noticed how the princess seemed to notice everything: the way the light fell on each flower, the movement of small creatures, the patterns in the streams of silver water. Her attention to detail amazed him. Your planet is incredible, he said quietly. Alira looked at him, her violet eyes sparkling. I take pride in Viridia, but humans, you are interesting too. You see things differently. You do not notice only what is perfect, you notice what moves, what feels, what changes. Kai smiled. Maybe that is why I stare at you. You move in a way that makes everything else seem still. You are not just beautiful, you are alive in every way. Alira paused and studied him closely. For a moment, the air between them felt still, almost as if the garden itself held its breath. Then she smiled. You are bold, human. Few would speak so openly to me. Boldness is rare. Kai laughed softly, a little nervous. I guess humans can be bold sometimes. We have to be. Space is full of dangers and surprises. Being honest is the only way to survive. Alira's expression softened. Perhaps. And yet, there is courage in honesty as well. You are not just bold, you are brave in a quiet way. Kai felt a warmth in his chest. He had not expected the princess to speak to him so freely, to notice him, or to value what he said. Somehow, her words made him feel that humans, even in a distant alien world, could matter. He was not just a visitor. He was noticed, understood, and maybe even respected. They continued to walk, and Kai could not help but steal glances at her. Every movement she made seemed graceful, yet natural. Every word she spoke carried meaning. He realized that the galaxy might be full of wonders, but standing here with the Princess of Viridia, he felt a connection that went beyond worlds. As the violet sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the glowing gardens, Kai knew this was only the beginning. Meeting Alira was not just a chance encounter. It was the start of something that could change both their worlds. And as he looked at her, he smiled and thought once more, quietly to himself, she really is gorgeous. The morning on Viridia arrived like a symphony of colors. The violet sun bathed the floating cities in soft, warm light, and the crystal towers reflected the sun in shimmering patterns. Kai woke in the guest chamber provided for him inside the palace. He could hear the soft hum of energy flowing through the palace walls, a gentle vibration that made him feel both calm and curious. Today, he would see the princess again. Kai had not expected to spend more time with Alira after their brief encounter in the gardens. Humans were usually visitors here for observation or negotiation, and personal attention from royalty was rare. But when he stepped into the palace gardens, Alira was already waiting. She smiled, her violet eyes catching the morning light. Good morning, Kai, she said. Her voice was soft but carried an authority that made him stand straighter. Good morning, Princess Alira, Kai replied. He bowed slightly, a gesture he had learned to show respect on alien worlds. Alira laughed softly. You do not need to bow so much. I am curious about your world, not concerned with formality. Today, you will see more of Viridia than yesterday. Kai's eyes widened with excitement. He had never expected such an opportunity. Thank you, Princess. I am honored. She gestured for him to follow, and they walked among the crystal pathways that wound through gardens filled with radiant flowers. Some flowers floated in mid-air, their petals spinning slowly as if dancing to a tune only they could hear. Tiny creatures with transparent wings zipped past them, leaving trails of light in the air. Kai tried to record everything on his data pad, but Alira seemed to notice how quickly his attention moved. You notice everything, she said. Most humans only focus on what seems useful or beautiful at first glance. You see small details, even those that seem unimportant. Kai smiled. I think everything has meaning. Even small things can tell a story about a place or its people. Alira nodded thoughtfully. Then perhaps you are more human than most humans. Your curiosity is not just for knowledge but for understanding. That is unusual. They stopped near a large pool of water that reflected the sky like a perfect mirror. Alira knelt beside it, touching the surface gently. Ripples spread out, catching the sunlight. This pool is very old, she said. It has seen generations of Viridians grow and change. It holds memory in its water, a way for the planet to remember its own story. Kai crouched beside her, fascinated. That is amazing. On Earth, water is important, but not like this. You treat it like it is alive, not just something to drink or use. Alira smiled, pleased with his observation. Everything on Viridia is alive in some way. Our world and its people are connected. Humans are different. You rely on machines and tools more than your natural senses. But perhaps that is why you can see what others overlook. Kai felt a warm sense of pride. No one had ever spoken to him this way, recognizing his curiosity as a strength. Maybe that is what humans do best. We notice, we adapt, and we find ways to survive. Even in places we do not understand at first. Alira's eyes sparkled with interest. Survival. Yes, humans are clever at survival. I have heard stories of your species traveling through space with limited resources, always finding ways to thrive. You are not strong in the way Viridians are strong, but you are strong in ways that matter. Your mind, your courage, your determination, these are rare qualities. Kai felt a sense of respect growing for her as well. She was not just a princess, she was wise, observant, and patient. Most leaders he had read about made decisions without understanding the people around them. Alira, however, wanted to understand. She noticed the small things, she listened, and she valued honesty. As they walked further, Alira led him to a courtyard filled with floating platforms. Some platforms held gardens, others held small buildings made of crystal. A gentle current of wind moved the platform slowly, creating patterns that seemed almost like a dance. Do you see this? She asked. Each platform moves independently, but they work together to create balance. This is how Viridia functions. Each person, each city, each plant, each creature is part of a larger whole. Balance is what keeps us alive. Kai nodded, impressed. Humans do something similar. We work together to survive and to build, but often we fail to notice the connections. Maybe that is why we struggle with balance. We see ourselves as separate from the world instead of part of it. Alira looked at him with a new sense of admiration. Your species has potential. You are still young in the galaxy, but you have courage, curiosity, and a desire to understand. That makes you special among humans. Kai felt a sense of pride and humility at the same time. No one had ever spoken to him like this, recognizing not just what he could do but what humans could become. Thank you, Princess. That means a lot coming from you. They paused on a platform covered with flowers that glowed in soft pastel colors. Alira picked a small bloom and handed it to Kai. This is for you, she said. A symbol of friendship. Humans are often judged by their strength or wealth. But I judge you by your curiosity, honesty, and courage. Kai accepted the flower, careful not to crush it. I will treasure it, he said. Not just for its beauty, but for what it represents. I hope one day humans can be as respected as Viridians. Maybe we can learn to be better by understanding your ways. Alira smiled, clearly pleased with his answer. Perhaps. And perhaps humans will teach Viridians something as well. I sense that you have ideas, knowledge, and ways of thinking that can help even my people. Do not underestimate your potential. Kai felt a spark of excitement. For the first time, he truly believed that humans could not only survive in the galaxy but thrive. Here, on Viridia, he saw the possibilities. Humans were clever, adaptable, and bold. And if they could work together with worlds like this, the future could be extraordinary. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting golden reflections across the crystal towers, Kai and Alira continued their walk. They talked about everything: their worlds, their cultures, and their dreams. Kai realized that this princess, who seemed so different at first, was learning from him just as he was learning from her. By the end of the morning, Kai knew one thing for certain: meeting Alira was not just an accident. It was the start of a friendship that could change both their worlds. And as he looked at her glowing hair and curious violet eyes, he smiled, feeling a sense of hope and excitement that he had never felt before. For the first time in his life, Kai felt that humans could not only survive among the stars, they could shine. The peace of Viridia was shattered one afternoon. Kai and Princess Alira were walking through the outer gardens, where the crystal trees stretched high into the sky and tiny rainbow-winged creatures flitted among the flowers. They had been talking about the planets they wanted to visit next and the knowledge humans could share with Viridians. The air was calm, and for a moment, the world felt perfect. Then a loud roar echoed through the floating gardens. The wind shifted violently, and a shadow fell across the ground. Kai and Alira froze, looking up. From the distant cliffs at the edge of the palace's floating platforms, a massive creature emerged. It was taller than any building in sight, its skin a dark, metallic green that reflected the sun. Its eyes glowed bright orange, and its claws scraped the crystal platforms with terrifying force. Alira stepped back, her expression serious. "This is a Krillin," she said in a low voice. "They are dangerous predators that usually live in the uncharted lands. Somehow, one has entered the palace area." Kai felt a surge of adrenaline. He had studied dangerous creatures before, but nothing like this. The reports he had read had not captured the size or speed of a Krillin. "We need to move people to safety," he said quickly. Alira nodded. "The palace guards are alerting the citizens. But this creature is fast. We must act now." Kai looked around. The creature was already moving toward a cluster of floating platforms where several Viridian families lived. Its claws tore through the gardens, sending flowers and small creatures flying. Kai's mind raced. He was human, not a soldier, but humans had a way of thinking differently. They could improvise, adapt, and find solutions that others overlooked. "Princess," he said, "I have an idea. Can you follow my lead?" Alira raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "I am listening, human. What do you propose?" Kai quickly surveyed the surroundings. Several crystal platforms were connected by bridges, and the water streams glimmering across the gardens could be redirected. He had studied the structure of the palace from his data pad, and he realized the Krillin could be trapped if they used the environment. "We can lure it toward the energy conduits beneath the platforms. If we time it right, the energy field can trap the creature temporarily." Alira's eyes widened. "It is risky. If we miscalculate, the platforms could collapse, and many will be injured." Kai nodded. "I know, but it is the only way. Humans have survived using quick thinking in dangerous situations. I can guide you, and your guards can follow our plan." Alira studied him for a moment. Then she nodded. "Very well. Lead the way, Kai." Kai moved quickly, directing the palace guards to guide the citizens to safe platforms. Alira followed him closely, her robes flowing as they ran. The Krillin's roars grew louder, and its claws struck the crystal platforms, sending sparks into the air. Kai stayed calm, keeping his mind focused. He pointed to a platform ahead. "We need to get it to charge straight into the narrow corridor over the energy conduit. That will force it to follow us without harming anyone else." Alira understood instantly. She ran ahead and shouted orders to the guards, guiding the creature with loud, controlled sounds. Kai had learned that Krillins responded to movement and noise. They moved quickly, leading the beast toward the corridor. As the creature entered the corridor, its size made the platform shake. Kai held his breath, calculating the timing. "Now, Alira. Activate the energy field." Alira pressed a control panel on the platform. A beam of shimmering energy shot upward, surrounding the corridor. The Krillin roared in surprise as the field trapped it, holding it in place. Sparks flew, but the platforms remained stable. Citizens cheered from a distance, amazed at the human's quick thinking and the princess's skill. Alira turned to Kai, her eyes shining with admiration. "You did it," she said, almost in disbelief. "I have never seen a human act so fast, so wisely. You are clever beyond what I expected." Kai felt a flush of pride. "We did it together, Princess. Humans are good at thinking under pressure, but your guidance made it possible. Without you, I would not have known where to direct it." Alira smiled warmly. "It seems humans have strengths that even Viridians can learn from. Your courage, your quick mind, and your honesty in acting without fear, these qualities are rare. Perhaps humans are more capable than I ever imagined." Kai looked at the trapped creature, still struggling against the energy field. "It is strong, but strength is not everything. Strategy and understanding matter too. Humans survive because we can adapt to situations that seem impossible." Alira's expression softened. "Yes, I see that now. Viridians rely on strength and tradition, but humans, you have flexibility and cleverness. You find ways where others see walls." The Krillin calmed slightly as the energy field adjusted to its movements. Alira walked closer, touching the barrier gently. "We will release it back to the uncharted lands after the energy field weakens. It is not our enemy, just lost and frightened." Kai nodded. "Humans respect life, even dangerous life. We do what we must to survive, but we also try to protect when we can." Together, they watched as the Krillin slowly backed away from the corridor, eventually being guided safely to the outer cliffs far from the city. The danger had passed, but the experience left both of them thoughtful. Alira turned to Kai, her violet eyes meeting his. "You are remarkable, Kai. You were not afraid, you acted wisely, and you saved lives. Humans, perhaps your species is not what I expected. You are clever, brave, and valuable. I feel honored to have you here." Kai smiled, feeling a mix of pride and humility. "Thank you, Princess. I only did what humans do best. We survive, we adapt, and we find solutions. But I could not have done it without your knowledge of this world and your guidance." Alira's expression softened into something almost like admiration. "You have taught me something today, Kai. Humans are not weak. They have strength in ways that we cannot always measure. Perhaps one day, Viridia and Earth can learn from each other." Kai nodded, feeling a spark of hope. "I believe that too. Humans and Viridians together, we could accomplish amazing things." The rest of the day passed quietly. Citizens of the palace gardens returned to their homes, and the Krillin returned safely to its territory. Kai and Alira walked through the repaired platforms, talking about strategies, ideas, and possibilities for future cooperation. The princess had seen human ingenuity in action, and Kai had seen the respect and wisdom of Viridia. As the violet sun began to set, casting a gentle glow over the floating gardens, Kai realized something important. Humans might not have the strength of the Viridians, but they had something equally powerful: the mind, courage, and ability to adapt. And standing beside Princess Alira, he felt that humans could truly shine among the stars. Alira smiled at him, her expression soft and thoughtful. "You are different from other humans, Kai. You are brave, honest, and clever. I look forward to seeing what you do next. Perhaps together, we can show both our worlds what is possible." Kai returned her smile, feeling a sense of connection and purpose. "I look forward to it too, Princess. Whatever comes next, we will face it together." And with that, the human and the alien princess walked side by side, knowing that the events of today had changed everything. Humans could survive among the stars, but humans could also thrive, if they had courage, intelligence, and the right friends. After the Krillin incident, the palace of Viridia returned to its usual calm. Citizens moved carefully across the floating platforms, tending their gardens and repairing the small damages caused by the creature. But Kai felt that something had changed. His actions had gained the respect of Princess Alira and the palace guards. More importantly, he had realized how humans could make a difference even in worlds far beyond Earth. Alira approached Kai in the morning, her violet eyes shining with curiosity. "Kai, I want to show you more of Viridia," she said. "You have seen the gardens and some of the palace. But there is more places that only a few are allowed to visit. I want you to understand our culture, our science, and our people." Kai smiled eagerly. "I would be honored, Princess. I want to learn everything I can about Viridia. And maybe I can show you some things about Earth as well." Alira's smile widened. "Very well. Today will be a day of learning for both of us." They began in the palace archives, a towering structure made of transparent crystal walls. Inside, shelves reached high into the air, filled with glowing data crystals that contained knowledge of the planet, its history, and its people. Alira demonstrated how the archives worked. By touching a crystal, information would project into the air, showing holographic images, diagrams, and texts. Kai was fascinated. "This is incredible. Your technology is far beyond Earth. On Earth, we have computers, but nothing like this. Alira laughed softly. Technology is only one part. Knowledge is more important. We preserve the lessons of our past, so we do not repeat mistakes. Humans, you seem to struggle with memory. You have history, yes, but often forget lessons quickly. Kai nodded. It is true. Humans are fast to learn, but we also forget. Perhaps that is why we are always trying new ideas, adapting as we go. Alira studied him carefully. Adaptation is important. Your species survives by thinking quickly and acting. That is a form of strength. We rely on balance and planning. Perhaps both ways are useful. After the archives, Alira took Kai to the city's laboratories, where Viridians studied the natural energy of the planet. Kai watched as they manipulated streams of glowing energy to power machines, float platforms, and even heal plants. The technology seemed almost like magic, but Kai quickly noticed patterns and logic behind it. Can humans learn this? He asked. Alira nodded. Yes, if they are willing. But humans think differently. You use tools and machines to achieve results. We use our connection to the planet itself. Your strength is in creativity and rapid problem solving. Both are valuable. Together, we could accomplish much. Kai felt proud. Humans were often underestimated in the galaxy, but here, he could see that their ways could complement Viridian methods. I think humans could teach Viridians to think differently, to try new approaches when things seem impossible, he said. Alira smiled. Perhaps. And humans could also learn patience, observation, and the importance of balance. I feel that you and I are beginning a learning journey for both our worlds. After the labs, they moved to the city's floating observatory. Platforms extended high into the sky, and Kai could see the entire planet below. Streams of light connected cities, gardens floated like islands, and distant mountains glowed softly. Alira pointed to a cluster of small floating rocks. Those are natural energy nodes. They power the floating cities. Viridians have learned to connect with them, to channel energy efficiently. Humans have never seen such energy in raw form. Kai observed closely. On Earth, we have electricity and machines, but this is alive. You can feel its flow, not just use it. Humans focus on control, but this energy is part of life itself. Alira nodded approvingly. Exactly. Humans control with hands and tools. Viridians control with understanding and connection. Both methods have value. Seeing your perspective gives me new ideas. As the day progressed, Kai began to explain aspects of Earth to Alira. He told her about human cities, vehicles, and tools. He described computers, airplanes, and satellites. Alira listened carefully, her curiosity endless. Your species is fascinating, she said. You are small and physically weaker than many alien races, yet you survive, explore, and achieve great things. You rely on your minds, your courage, and your ability to work together. That is extraordinary. Kai smiled. Humans have always had to adapt. We are explorers at heart. We take risks, we try new things, and we learn from mistakes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not, but we never give up. That is how we thrive. Alira's eyes shone with admiration. That is true courage. Strength is not always measured in power or skill, but in will and determination. Humans have something rare in the galaxy. I can see now why you are here, why you survived the Krillin. Your species is clever, brave, and relentless. That is why I respect you, Kai. Kai felt a warmth in his chest. For the first time, he felt that humans could be valued not only for their physical or technological power but for their heart and mind. He realized that being human meant more than surviving on Earth, it meant the potential to make a difference anywhere in the galaxy. As the sun began to set, casting long purple shadows across the floating gardens and crystal towers, Alira and Kai walked to the edge of a platform overlooking the city. You have shown me much today, Kai, Alira said softly. Not only about humans but about courage, curiosity, and the willingness to act. Humans may be small, but you shine in ways Viridians often cannot. Kai looked at her, his eyes filled with determination. And you have shown me the value of patience, observation, and connection. Humans can learn from your world, just as Viridians can learn from ours. Together, we can achieve more than either of us could alone. Alira smiled, placing her hand lightly on his arm. Perhaps this is the beginning of something greater, Kai. Something that will connect our worlds in ways few could imagine. Kai nodded, feeling a spark of hope. He knew that humans might not be the strongest physically, but they had something that could make them shine in any galaxy: courage, intelligence, and the will to act. And with Princess Alira beside him, he felt that humans could not only survive among the stars, they could thrive, and perhaps even lead by example. As they watched the twin moons of Viridia rise over the floating city, Kai knew that this was only the beginning. Their worlds had met, their knowledge had merged, and their friendship had begun. And in that moment, he realized that the galaxy was full of possibilities, waiting for humans to rise and shine. Kai turned to Alira and smiled. Thank you for today, Princess. I will never forget what I have learned here. Alira returned his smile, her violet eyes reflecting the light of the moons. And I will not forget your courage, Kai. Together, we will see what humans and Viridians can achieve. The palace of Viridia was alive with activity the next morning. Kai had grown more confident in his role as a guest and ally, walking through the floating gardens and observing the people. His presence no longer caused surprise. The citizens had seen his bravery during the Krillin incident, and many had begun to respect him. Princess Alira, however, had a concern. The nobles of the court were watching him closely. Humans were unusual visitors, and one that had earned the princess's favor was even more unusual. While Alira appreciated Kai's honesty and courage, she knew the court might not. Kai noticed her worry as they walked along a crystal bridge connecting two floating platforms. Princess, is something wrong? He asked. Alira shook her head slightly, her expression serious. Not wrong, Kai, but cautious. Some nobles do not like that you have gained my attention and respect. They fear that your ideas and your presence might influence decisions. Viridians are cautious of outsiders, even if they mean well. Kai frowned. Do they want to get rid of me? Perhaps, Alira admitted. Some may not act directly, but others may attempt subtler ways to undermine you. We must be careful, but we cannot let fear rule us. Kai's mind raced. Humans had faced political challenges before, though on Earth they were usually smaller and personal. Here, the stakes were different. One mistake could affect the princess, the palace, and even the floating cities. Then we must be smart, he said. We need a plan to protect both you and the citizens while showing that humans are valuable allies. Alira smiled faintly. Yes, Kai. That is why I trust you. You think clearly under pressure. Come, let us attend the council meeting. It will be held today to discuss the security of the palace. The council chamber was enormous, a circular room with transparent walls that overlooked the floating gardens below. Viridian nobles sat in raised seats, their robes gleaming with subtle light. Alira entered first, followed by Kai, who kept his head high despite the eyes that now focused on him with suspicion. "Welcome, Princess Alira," said one noble, his voice sharp. "And welcome, human guest. We are aware of your actions during the recent attack, but we must discuss the risks of your continued presence." Kai bowed slightly. "I understand, and I respect your concern. My goal is to assist, not to interfere. I hope to demonstrate that humans can contribute to Viridia without causing harm." A murmur spread across the chamber. Some nobles exchanged skeptical looks. One older noble spoke with a firm voice. "We respect bravery, but humans are unpredictable. How can we trust that this one will not act recklessly in the future?" Kai felt the tension but remained calm. He had learned that human strength lay in thinking, reasoning, and acting with intelligence. "I ask you to consider what I have already done," he said. "The Krillin threatened the palace. I proposed a plan using your technology and knowledge, and together with Princess Alira, we prevented harm to the citizens. I do not act alone, but I act to protect and solve problems. That is what humans do." The room fell silent. Alira's eyes glowed softly as she added, "Kai's actions saved lives. His courage, intelligence, and honesty are clear. I trust him, and I ask that you do as well. Humans can learn, adapt, and contribute, just as Viridians do." Some nobles nodded reluctantly, but others still looked uneasy. One younger noble whispered to another, "He is clever, yes, but still human. Can we trust that he will always act in Viridia's best interest?" Kai's gaze swept across the room. He realized that respect would come slowly, not instantly. Humans often had to prove themselves through action and integrity. "I do not ask for blind trust," he said firmly. "I ask for opportunity to show value through actions. Observe my work, see my intentions, and judge not by fear, but by results." Alira's expression softened, proud of Kai's ability to speak with confidence and clarity. "Very well, Council. Kai will remain under observation, but his assistance will continue. Let us focus on the security of the palace rather than fear of the unknown." The meeting concluded with cautious agreement. Yet, Kai knew that challenges were not over. Some nobles would continue their subtle attempts to discredit him or test his abilities. It was the nature of politics, in Viridia or on Earth. As they left the council chamber, Alira looked at Kai with concern. "You handled that well. But beware, Kai. Some will try to test your limits, and not all tests will be fair." Kai nodded. "I understand, Princess. Humans are used to challenges. We adapt, we think, and we act. That is how we survive, and that is how we thrive. I will meet whatever comes with courage and honesty." Over the next days, subtle challenges arose. Some nobles questioned Kai's knowledge of Viridian technology, while others tested his loyalty through minor assignments. Kai approached each with careful observation and clever thinking. He used human ingenuity to solve problems efficiently while respecting Viridian methods. One day, he was asked to calibrate an energy conduit in the gardens, a task that required precise knowledge of Viridian energy. While he had studied the systems, the nobles expected failure. But Kai observed the flow of energy, noted small irregularities, and applied adjustments using both his human logic and the lessons Alira had taught him. The conduit glowed brightly, functioning perfectly. Alira watched silently, impressed. Once again, Kai, you show that humans have value in unexpected ways. You combine observation, reasoning, and creativity. That is strength. Kai smiled. Humans survive in dangerous environments because we think, adapt, and act. Physical strength is not always the key. Strategy and understanding often matter more. Word of his success spread through the palace. Citizens began to see him not as a foreign guest but as a trusted ally. Even some skeptical nobles started to respect his abilities, though a few remained cautious. One evening, Alira and Kai walked along a quiet garden path, reflecting on the events of the week. "You are learning our ways, and teaching us yours," Alira said softly. "The nobles may not understand yet, but your actions speak louder than words." Kai nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Humans have always relied on brains, courage, and perseverance. I have faced challenges on Earth, but this is different. Here, I can show that humans can thrive even in worlds beyond our own. That is what HFY means to me, to show that humans can excel, not just survive. Alira smiled, placing her hand lightly on his arm. "You have proven it, Kai. Humans are clever, brave, and capable. You have earned respect here. I am proud to have you beside me." Kai felt a warmth in his chest. It was more than pride, it was hope. Humans were often underestimated, but here, on Viridia, his actions were making a difference. He was showing that courage, intelligence, and honesty could win respect even in alien worlds. As they walked together under the soft glow of the palace lights, Kai knew that challenges would continue, but he was ready. Humans were adaptable, clever, and brave. And with Princess Alira by his side, he felt that no obstacle was too great. The palace may have been full of politics and cautious nobles, but humans had a way of thriving where others doubted them. Kai understood that he was not just a guest, he was a symbol of what humans could achieve. And as he looked at the princess, he knew that together, they could show the galaxy the true strength of humanity. The sky above Viridia darkened suddenly one afternoon, a strange shadow crossing the violet sun. Citizens paused in their daily routines, looking upward with concern. Kai was walking with Princess Alira across the palace gardens when he noticed the change. Streams of glowing energy in the floating gardens flickered as the air grew tense. "Princess, look at the sky," Kai said, pointing to the distant horizon. "Something is coming." Alira followed his gaze, her violet eyes narrowing. "This is not a natural phenomenon," she said in a serious tone. "It looks like a meteor storm, but larger, faster, and more chaotic than anything we have recorded. If it reaches the city, the floating platforms could be destroyed, and many lives would be at risk." Kai felt a surge of adrenaline. Humans had faced natural disasters and dangerous situations before, but this was different. The scale was immense. The threat was not just to him or the princess, but to an entire civilization. Yet, Kai knew that humans excelled when they were pushed to their limits. He had to act. "Do you have defenses in place?" he asked. Alira shook her head. "The palace shields can protect some areas, but not all. We have energy barriers, but they are not strong enough for a storm of this magnitude. We may lose platforms if the meteor fragments hit directly." Kai thought quickly. "We need to combine your energy technology with human problem solving. We can redirect smaller fragments using controlled energy fields and reinforce critical platforms. We may not stop everything, but we can save the majority of the city." Alira studied him closely. "Kai, this is dangerous. It requires precise timing, calculation, and coordination. Are you certain humans can handle this? Kai nodded firmly. We can. Humans survive by adapting, thinking fast, and acting decisively. Let me help. Together, we can protect Viridia. Alira smiled, her confidence in him clear. Very well. We will work together. I will coordinate the Viridian forces, and you will direct our human strategy. Let us begin. They ran to the central control platform of the palace, a large crystalline structure filled with holographic displays and control panels. Alira instructed the guards and engineers to prepare the energy fields, while Kai analyzed the meteor storm trajectory using a combination of Viridian data and human calculations. Smaller fragments first, Kai said. We can redirect them using overlapping energy beams. Focus on the edges of the storm to reduce impact on the platforms below. We will need precise timing, but we can create safe zones for the citizens. Alira's hands moved quickly over the controls. Understood. The energy fields are ready. Begin your plan, Kai. Kai took a deep breath, focusing. He directed the energy beams, guiding fragments away from critical areas. Sparks flew and light shimmered across the sky as the beams connected with the incoming meteor pieces. Some fragments shattered safely in the outer gardens, while others were deflected toward uninhabited areas. Keep adjusting, Kai instructed. The larger fragments are coming now. We need synchronized energy pulses to slow them down. Timing is everything. Alira nodded, moving with precision and grace. She adjusted the energy fields exactly as Kai instructed, her trust in the human's judgment absolute. Guards and engineers followed the coordinated plan, working together under the leadership of both human and princess. The largest fragment appeared, a glowing rock the size of a small building. It hurtled toward the central city platforms, threatening destruction. Kai's mind raced. We will use the main energy conduit as a deflection point. Activate the pulse on my mark, now. Alira triggered the energy pulse, and the massive fragment was lifted slightly, redirecting its path over an empty area. The citizens watched in awe as human strategy combined with Viridian technology to prevent disaster. The fragment crashed harmlessly far from the city, sending a plume of light into the sky. Kai's heart raced with relief, but he did not stop. Smaller fragments continued to fall, and he guided the energy fields with rapid calculations, predicting movements and adjusting beams instantly. Alira followed his instructions perfectly, their coordination seamless. Hours passed, but eventually the storm weakened. The remaining fragments fell harmlessly outside the city, and the citizens cheered from safe platforms. Floating gardens shimmered with light as the energy fields stabilized, and the city remained intact. Alira turned to Kai, her violet eyes shining with admiration. Kai, you have done something extraordinary. You led our defenses, guided our forces, and saved countless lives. Humans, you are not only clever, but brave and capable in ways I never imagined. Kai smiled, feeling a mixture of pride and humility. We did it together, Princess. Viridians have incredible technology and knowledge, but humans bring creativity, quick thinking, and courage. That combination can accomplish anything. Alira placed her hand lightly on his arm. You have proven it. Humans can not only survive among the stars, but they can thrive and even protect worlds. I am proud to have you here. Kai felt a warmth in his chest. Humans had often been underestimated in the galaxy, but today, they had shown their true potential. He had used intelligence, courage, and problem-solving to save lives, and he realized that humans could shine in ways that others could not. Citizens of Viridia gathered around, expressing their gratitude and awe. Some of the nobles who had doubted Kai's abilities approached cautiously. One elder noble spoke with respect. Kai, you have shown skill, intelligence, and bravery. Humans may be more remarkable than we assumed. You have earned our trust. Kai nodded politely. Thank you. Humans always strive to find solutions, to help, and to survive. That is what we do best. Alira smiled proudly. And you have proven that humans are valuable allies. Today, we have learned that courage, intelligence, and cooperation can overcome even the greatest challenges. Humans and Viridians together can achieve more than either of us could alone. As the violet sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden and purple light across the floating city, Kai and Alira walked through the gardens, watching the citizens celebrate their safety. The city was alive with relief and gratitude, but Kai knew that their achievement went beyond survival. They had shown that humans could rise to challenges, adapt quickly, and use their minds to protect life. Kai looked at the princess, her hair glowing softly in the twilight, her violet eyes reflecting pride and admiration. This day has shown me something important, he said quietly. Humans can shine anywhere. We can survive, thrive, and even lead if we use courage, intelligence, and cooperation. That is our true strength. Alira nodded, her smile gentle. And today, you have demonstrated it, Kai. You have earned not only respect but admiration. Humans are capable of greatness, and you have proven it. Kai felt a surge of hope for the future. Humans might not be the strongest physically, but their minds, hearts, and determination made them extraordinary. And standing beside Princess Alira, he realized that together, humans and Viridians could achieve wonders. As they watched the stars emerge in the night sky over Viridia, Kai knew that this was only the beginning. There would be more challenges, more dangers, and more opportunities to prove human potential. But one thing was certain, humans could shine, even in the farthest reaches of the galaxy, and with courage, intelligence, and friendship, they could protect, inspire, and thrive. Kai turned to Alira and smiled. Thank you for trusting me, Princess. Today was incredible. We showed that humans are more than just survivors, we are capable of greatness. Alira returned his smile, her violet eyes glowing in the starlight. And I am proud to stand beside you, Kai. Together, we will see what humans and Viridians can achieve in the galaxy. The days following the meteor storm were filled with rebuilding and celebration. Viridia's citizens worked tirelessly to repair minor damages to floating platforms, gardens, and bridges. But the city's spirit remained strong. Kai walked through the crystal pathways, observing the efforts and offering advice when needed. Even small adjustments to energy fields or bridge alignments benefited from his human perspective, and citizens began to see the value of human ingenuity firsthand. Princess Alira joined him as he assisted engineers in stabilizing one of the outer platforms. Kai, your influence is growing, she said, her violet eyes thoughtful. The citizens respect you, the guards trust you, and even some of the council are beginning to see your worth. Kai smiled. It is not just me, Princess. Humans have always relied on teamwork. I may lead in some situations, but it is the combination of Viridian knowledge and human ingenuity that makes the difference. That is what people notice. Alira nodded. True. And your courage has inspired many. You have shown that humans are more than just visitors, we are capable of greatness, adaptable, and able to face danger with intelligence and bravery. Kai felt pride welling up inside him. Humans often struggled to be recognized in a galaxy filled with stronger, faster, or larger species. Yet, here on Viridia, they were finally seen for what truly mattered: courage, intelligence, adaptability, and heart. That evening, the palace held a formal assembly to honor those who had contributed to saving the city during the meteor storm. Citizens, guards, and council members gathered on the largest floating platform, decorated with radiant flowers and glowing streams of energy. The princess stood at the front, and Kai stood beside her. "My people," Alira began, her voice carrying across the crowd, "we have faced challenges that tested our strength and wisdom. Today, we recognize not only those who acted bravely, but also the value of courage, intelligence, and adaptability." She turned to Kai, her eyes softening. "Kai, you are human. Your species is small compared to others in the galaxy, yet you have demonstrated remarkable strength. Not in muscle, but in mind, in courage, and in heart. You have saved lives, guided our defenses, and inspired us all. Humans have a place among the stars, and today, you have proven why." A hush fell over the crowd. Then, one by one, citizens and council members began to applaud. At first tentative, the applause grew louder, filling the floating platform with sound and energy. Even the nobles who had doubted Kai could no longer deny his contributions. Kai felt his heart swell. He stepped forward slightly, bowing respectfully. "Thank you, Princess Alira, and thank you, citizens of Viridia," he said. "Humans have always survived by thinking, acting, and working together. We may be small, but our courage, creativity, and determination make us strong. I am honored to have helped your world and to have earned your trust." The crowd erupted in applause again, this time with cheers and expressions of genuine admiration. Some citizens approached him to shake his hand, while others simply nodded with respect. Kai realized that humans, often underestimated, could achieve extraordinary things when given opportunity and when they acted with integrity. Alira smiled, stepping closer to him. "Kai, today you have shown that humans can shine anywhere in the galaxy. Your mind, courage, and honesty have earned the respect of Viridia. You are more than a guest, you are an ally, a friend, and a symbol of what your species can achieve." Kai felt a warmth in his chest as he looked at her. "Thank you, Princess. I have learned much from Viridia too. Your wisdom, your understanding, and your patience have taught me that humans can thrive when we combine courage with knowledge and respect for others. Together, we can accomplish remarkable things." The celebration continued into the evening. Citizens shared stories of bravery and ingenuity, and Kai listened as Viridians described how human thinking had saved their homes and lives. The princess moved among the people, showing pride in her alliance with him. Everywhere he went, Kai saw admiration for humanity growing stronger. Later, as the crowd dispersed, Kai and Alira walked through the gardens, now glowing softly under the twin moons. The air was calm, filled with the soft hum of energy and the scent of luminous flowers. "You have changed how my people see humans, Kai," Alira said quietly. "Not just for your actions, but for your courage, honesty, and the way you think. Viridians now understand that strength comes in many forms. Humans are clever, brave, and capable. You have made a lasting impact." Kai smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment. That is what humans have always done. We survive, adapt, and rise to challenges. But we also inspire and help when we can. Today, we showed that humans can protect, contribute, and even lead with heart and mind. Alira stopped and looked at him, her violet eyes reflecting the soft glow of the moons. "Kai, I trust you completely. Your courage, intelligence, and loyalty are remarkable. Together, humans and Viridians can shape the future, not just survive in it. You have proven the true meaning of HFY, humans shining brightly among the stars. Kai felt a surge of hope and pride. Humans often struggled to be recognized, but here, they had earned respect, admiration, and trust. It was proof that courage, intelligence, and integrity could triumph over size, strength, or prejudice. He looked around the gardens, seeing citizens returning to their homes, guards patrolling calmly, and the city alive with energy and harmony. "This is only the beginning, Princess," he said. "Humans can do more. We can explore, protect, and inspire, not just on Earth, but across the galaxy." Alira nodded, placing her hand gently on his arm. "And I will be here beside you, Kai. Together, we will show what humans and Viridians can achieve. Your species is capable of greatness, and today, the galaxy has seen a glimpse of it." Kai felt a sense of fulfillment unlike anything he had experienced. He had traveled to a distant world, faced danger, solved impossible problems, and earned respect. But more than that, he had shown that humans could shine, not just survive. Courage, intelligence, adaptability, and heart, these were the qualities that made humans extraordinary. As the twin moons rose higher in the sky, casting soft light across the floating gardens and crystal towers, Kai and Alira stood side by side. The city was safe, the people were inspired, and humans had earned their place in the galaxy. Kai looked at the princess and smiled. "Thank you, Alira. For trusting me, for teaching me, and for believing in humans. We have accomplished something amazing together." Alira returned his smile, her violet eyes reflecting pride, admiration, and hope. "And thank you, Kai, for showing my people and me the true strength of humans. Together, we will achieve even greater things. Today, humanity has shined, and it will continue to shine among the stars." And with that, the human and the alien princess stood together, gazing at the galaxy above. They had faced danger, political challenges, and disbelief, yet humans had triumphed. Courage, intelligence, and heart had won the day. Viridia had seen the truth: humans could survive, thrive, and inspire. They could shine brighter than many had ever imagined. Kai knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with unknown worlds, challenges, and adventures. But humans were ready. Humans could rise, adapt, and shine. And with allies like Princess Alira, their light would reach farther than anyone could have dreamed. Kai took a deep breath, feeling hope, pride, and determination. "This is just the start," he whispered. "Humans can shine anywhere. We can protect, inspire, and thrive. The galaxy will see what we are capable of." Alira squeezed his hand gently. "Yes, Kai. Together, we will show them." And in that moment, under the soft glow of the twin moons, the galaxy felt just a little brighter. Humanity had arrived, and their time to shine had begun.